Yes. Check, check. Mic check. 1, 2. Here it goes. Mic check. Here it goes. 1, 2. Okay. No, I need to actually make the rail. So, you need to make the rail. Okay. So let's do that. Ba-da, ba, ba-da, ba, ba-da, ba, 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 ba. I mean, I can almost just use rail the entire way. It doesn't matter. Except for that part. Because that gets annoying. But because then I have to power it every whatever. So it's going to be annoying anyways because I have to count it out. Man, that... And this is glass. So let's see. I mean, I can be like that. And then redstone. That's how we do it. That's how it's done. Bop. Bop. And then we're going to get a rail that's curved. All right. And you may want to be asking yourself, what's the point of this? Why would you even do this? And I'll tell you. It's because we're going to make the next station. 3, 4. Okay, here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Here. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, well that's good enough. Hey. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might as well go all the way. Nope. It can't. Okay. Ta-da-da! Da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da! See, here's where I need like to be able to see the number of stacks I have. Oh, I can do that, right? If I go like that, no, I can't. Like I have to count it out. Damn it! And I don't want to count it out. So that's like about there. And then you put a bunch of these ones. No, only a few. All right, and then you go back to these. That sounds about right. This is so unscientific. Oop. Sure. I can't count how many I've gone because it doesn't have the I have to manually count it. And who wants to do that? Not me. Like I had enough time just doing the curves. Like, oop. All right, sure, more. What I should do is like turn this into glass. Ha ha ha. So I go like that. Okay. Sure. So here's the first station. Station. This is the molten salt reactor. That's going to be our power source, right? You need a power source. Every nation on Earth is all like got their stuff going according to energy. Every single one. You're either a producer or you buy it from a producer. That's it. That's it. Or if you're like France, you build a bunch of nuclear reactors and do it yourself. But they still import oil because they still run cars and stuff. So yeah, the first step, I think, for American Renaissance will be the molten salt reactor. This is what it's going to be. Do you understand how this thing works? I mean, I can explain it again, or you can just watch my last episode. I kind of built it. But there, I built the train station to here. So there, blah. Now I need to turn outward because I need to stay on the outside. I need to make it daytime too so I can see what I'm doing. So when I turn off the RTX, you go time set day.
Set the time to 121,000.
Sure, 101,000, sure. If I keep going this way, what happens? I stay in the deep dark and I don't want to. I mean, I pop out a little bit, but not really. So let's go over here. Okay, so after we sail by this thing, we want to like pop back out. Should like start making a curve. Like after it though, right? After. This kind of works because in this little alcove or around here, I can make the light water reactor instead of the molten salt reactor. And then people can see the difference. Yeah. Every nation on Earth, their relationship is defined by their access to energy. Access. So, did you hear the new UK Prime Minister? I forget her name. I don't know her name yet. I'll see it eventually. But she's some. I saw a horrible clip of her. I have no confidence in the new UK Prime Minister. The new UK Prime Minister was asked directly if Mohammed bin Salman was responsible for the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, and she would not answer the question. She said Saudi Arabia is a like a trading partner, ally, or whatever, like an economic ally. That's all she would say. She would not answer the question. She refused to answer the question or acknowledge the fact that Mohammed bin Salman is responsible for the gruesome murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi for no reason. They murdered him for no reason. Their excuse was that he told the truth about Saudi Arabia, and that was too much for them. That's the problem with dictatorships. Everyone says great things. Oh, look, dictatorships are so awesome. Oh, look at them. Oh, nah, dude, they're terrible because they cannot handle the truth. They can't do it. They go to extreme lengths to hide it. They can't handle the truth. So, anyways. 4, 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, look at China and Taiwan. That whole drama comes about because the People's Republic of China is unable to come to grips with the material facts on the ground. The material facts on the ground are that Taiwan is independent. It has its own money. It has its own government. It has its own like deals with other governments. It it has its own flag. It's its own country. That's the truth of it. But People's Republic of China can't accept it because they don't want it to be there. They don't want Taiwan to be a threat to mainland China. They don't. People's Republic of China don't actually care about the people of Taiwan. They may say they want reunification and rah rah rah. No, they don't. No, they don't. Look at Hong Kong. They don't care about you at all. all they want is a threat removed from mainland China, and that's what Taiwan is. Because Taiwan, being an island off the coast of China, threatens their energy imports. Remember, it's all about energy and where you get it from. So China gets its energy from the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, and from Russia, but mainly Saudi Arabia, because like for a long time, China and Russia don't really trust each other. They still don't trust each other. But yeah, so China buys a lot of Middle Eastern oil, and it ships that oil, from around from the Middle East and around India and in between China and Indonesia and all those little islands and up in into Shanghai and stuff and Beijing and all those ports over there. But Japan, of course, sitting off of the coast of China is scary to China, and Taiwan sitting off the coast there is scary to China. So it's not that they want, any cultural rah rah rah. It's that it's a military. It's realpolitik. It's realpolitik. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. I'm just a casual outside observer, right? I haven't actually been to Taiwan, and all I know about Taiwan, what about Taiwan is that the majority of people there believe themselves to be independent and want to be independent. And they will probably fight. They will fight if China tries to take that away. And I guess the U.S. has a great relationship with Taiwan, so okay, why ruin it? It's advantageous for the U.S. to have friends in Asia, as many friends as possible. Okay, let's see. Up, yeah. Okay. I can do with a 4. That's okay. I don't. It doesn't have to. Yeah. Yeah. How did I'm not a China expert at all, dude. Why am I talking about China? Maybe you shouldn't listen to me about China. I backpacked through there, dude. That's about it. And it was a pretty cool trip. It was pretty cool. China is pretty cool. They have so much history, and it's so big that just getting from one part to the other takes it doesn't take forever because they have fat trains. So that's the key is the fat trains everywhere. But But yeah, China's fear is all related to energy, their energy imports. Like maybe I hope they don't want to impose their will on their neighbors. That would be pretty awful. I think they kind of, yeah, I think they're flexing a bit. I think that's what another bit of the tension is that they're flexing on their weaker neighbors, their smaller neighbors. And so the smaller neighbors kind of want to counterbalance to China's flexing, which is where the US comes in. I guess. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know anything about that stuff. Man, I should like study before I start talking smack. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm falling into my old trap. I should stop right now. Yeah. I have other things I can talk about. Let's see. Yeah, I was having, oh man, okay. So I was having this this conversation on YouTube. And I should like just go out. And it like the guy with whom I'm having this conversation won't come out outright and say it, won't declare, isn't open about it, right? It's all hidden. He doesn't say like nothing overt that indicates he's one way or the other. So it looks like the guy puts off like that he's objective. But all I had to do was scratch a little bit, just poke a little bit at the facade. And I found out like that no, dude is not really objective. The guy is in the cult. He's in the cult. Now here, let me tell you how I know this. Because he on his channel, he made an edit. He produced and edited like excerpts of this like freedom rally, quote 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 freedom rally, quote quote quote. That's what they called it, right? But the speaker, and then he produced it so that like it was all tight camera angles, you know, like to hide the fact that there was no crowd. And he overlaid like calming emotion, like soothing music, so that you're over like their speeches, which at the time had no music, right? It was just them talking to like nobody. But you can't see that there's nobody. It's because it's so tight. And the speakers are all like hinting at either some kind of like religious thing, or they're hinting at other stuff, that the 2020 election wasn't valid. I was like, what? That's crazy. Or some like QAnon stuff, like real crazy conspiracy stuff. So I'm, and the guy tries to play it off. The guy whose YouTube channel this is, he tries to play off his channel as just being objective, just showing off what's there, just the neutral observer. That's what that's his air that he puts off. But I start talking to him, and I'm like, no, this guy here, why am I talking like that? Anyways, I'm like, this guy that you pointed out, like, I don't know, should I like obscure his name? Like, maybe I should obscure the name to protect protect him. That way, that way, it's like anonymous. Like, even though it's kind of public, like, still, I shouldn't like. Yeah, I gotta like edit his name out of the discussion first. All right, but I can talk to you about it. So yeah, so he has this YouTube channel and he goes around and he films either these right wing events and then he produces them to look nice, or he films liberal events like the Women's March. What does he do with that footage? Because he doesn't sound like he's a proponent of the march. In his right wing videos that he produced nicely, like the people spoke about pro or anti-abortion rhetoric. They laced their religion with anti-abortion rhetoric and said that they should use the power of the state to enforce their anti-abortion rhetoric on other people, their anti-abortion religion on other people. So the guy who produces this channel, I can tell he's a right winger. So, but I'm talking to him and I'm like, and I can like, it's really clear that their brains are scattered, because if you get into a conversation with them immediately in the blah out that they literally go blah, they're flares. It's like a flare. It's like blah of hooks. Maybe they're not hooks, right? Maybe I started watching clips of Top Gun on YouTube. and I'm like, how interesting how the planes use flares to confuse the missile that comes to kill them. And if it doesn't work, the pilot dies. Or the pilot has to like dodge the missile, which is really hard. So that's what he does. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's a really good way of putting it. We're dogfighting. So he actually engages me, right? On a forum, because it's his channel. So he feels comfortable. So he actually engages me and we start talking, and like I immediately bring up the fact that Donald Trump stole these top secret news like documents. He stole US secrets from the United States and he had it in his house. And in the next reply immediately, I could see the flares coming off of him. He launched off flares intended for me to spiral off and go after these flares instead of my real target, which is, getting him to see that Donald Trump is a bad guy. But so I see these flares, but they don't do anything to me because they don't work. I've played this game enough that I know not to chase flares. And then like I hone in again. I keep like every time he puts up a defense, like I just like chop it to pieces. And he puts up another defense, and he launches flares, and I ignore the flares, and I chop up his defense into little pieces. So now, and then it's getting to the point where he's got like nothing left, and he has to admit that he is ignoring what he sees with his eyes. He's ignoring it in favor of whatever Donald Trump tells him to believe. He has to admit that. He has no other place to go. I mean, like, I want to show you the exchange, but I want to protect his name first. So I'm not really a jerk. Or I don't intend to be a jerk, I guess. I want to, yeah, my intention is not to be a jerk. My intention is to, like, teach. So by putting his name out there, that's being a jerk. By hiding his name, then it's more of a teaching thing. Okay, that's nice. And that way the guy, whoever it is like in obscurity still. And he can learn, and if he doesn't learn, then like I'll keep copies. All right. But yeah. What's the kerfluffle? What's this kerfluffle right now? Okay, so the FBI, after a long time, they asked Donald Trump, please give them back. And Donald Trump said, yeah. Never did. Right? And then, the law, they sent a subpoena. They sent a subpoena to Trump. And then the lawyers looked through the stuff in the subpoena and they said, check. All right, we looked through everything. We gave you guys back everything. We looked through your subpoena. We gave it all back, and they sent it back. Right after that, they're like, yeah, you said so, but we don't have it over here. Where is it? So finally, after like forever, the FBI like raid. They conduct a search and take back U.S. government property from Donald Trump, who's not supposed to have it because he's not president anymore. He's just a citizen. He's just a guy. Donald Trump is just a guy. He's just a guy. Donald Trump is just a guy. He's not a boss. He's not like a god. He's not a deity. He didn't like gain special powers. He's just a guy. He's just a man who's going to die. Just like the rest of us. So, Donald Trump stole these documents from the United States and kept them in his apartment, in his house, Mar-a-Lago. After the government asked them for it, and their lawyers said, "Oh yeah, we already gave it all back." Okay. So they go and get it, and now they have it, and then normally, under normal circumstances, lawyers would spring into action to do stuff to stop those feds from looking through the stuff. They would be on that stuff like instantaneously. But for some reason, everyone was scratching their heads, all the lawyer people, because I don't know what's going on. All the lawyer people were scratching their heads going like, why hasn't he done it? Why hasn't he done it? Why hasn't Donald Trump stopped the feds from looking through their stuff? So the feds are like, okay, we're just going to look through it. All right. So yeah. And then so for 2 weeks, the feds just got to look through all the Donald Trump stuff. All of it. They looked through all of it. And they had a taint team to make sure they didn't look through any special privileged stuff or anything. They covered all of their bases, right? They covered all that, and then they went through it because it took Donald Trump 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later, after the deadline came and went to stop the feds from looking through their stuff, then Donald Trump's lawyers come in and give the request to the judge that Donald Trump picked. The judge that Donald Trump picked. And then why did Donald Trump pick this judge? Because he appointed her. He's the one who made her a judge. Donald Trump, when he was president, he made her judge after he lost the election. All right. So 2 weeks later, Donald Trump's lawyers finally give the judge the request to tell the feds to not look through Donald Trump's stuff. And normally, any other judge would have laughed that thing out of court. Would have been like, ha, you're way late. You're way late. Number one. Number two, you didn't do anything right on your lawyer stuff. Like the other lawyer people that I looked at that were saying that guy didn't do any of the things he was supposed to do on his lawyer documents. He didn't like. So any normal judge would have quashed that. Just said, you're way late and you're way too weak. No way. But this judge took the time to rewrite what Trump's lawyers gave her, to rewrite it so that it was actually did what it was supposed to do, did all the lawyer stuff, and then said, okay, granted. Wait, number one, why was it late? Why was it 2 weeks late? So normally, lawyers would just do whatever they have to do and then keep a tab, right? Put it on my tab. That's what they do. They keep a tab of what they do, hours billed or whatever, right? So And then at the end, after everything's said and done, you pay the lawyer. Either you pay the lawyer directly, or they take a piece of the settlement, or whatever, right? Lawyers get paid. Lawyers get paid for their work because it's work. That shit's work. Like, I don't understand this stuff. That's why I'm happy that I know I can watch lawyer people, because they make it make sense. Okay. So that's how it normally works. But Donald Trump does not. He's Donald Trump is broke. Donald Trump has no real money. He's not really rich. He's really leveraged. He's in a lot of debt. And so he doesn't have any cash on hand. Everything's tied up in other stuff. And he has a history of not paying his lawyers. They'll do a bunch of work for him. They'll make all these motions, write all these papers. They'll do whatever Donald Trump wants, however ridiculous it is, however obvious it's going to get smacked down, and however bad it makes them look. These lawyers did whatever Donald Trump wanted, just put it on his tab, right? And at the end, whoo, all right, well, here's the tab, boss. Here's what you owe me. I did everything you wanted. We did everything. We did it really good, real professional like, even though it was dumb. You're the boss. We did it. Here's what you owe me. And Donald Trump stiffed them. Not just one lawyer group, like group after group after group after group. No lawyer now will take him. Nobody will take him. No good lawyer will take him. So, and the only lawyers that do take him will only work with cash up front. None of this tab stuff. We don't do it till you give us cash. So Donald Trump had to go around looking for $1 million to pay his lawyers, and it took him 2 weeks to find $1 million. It took him 2 weeks to find $1 million to pay his lawyers to write this terrible document 2 weeks late. And the only reason why it worked is because the judge is corrupt. Because Donald Trump, when he was president and after he lost the election, picked her to be the or he nominated her, and she was appointed after he lost. That's how it went. He didn't pick her after he lost. She got appointed after he lost. Yeah, we can do the solar array right here. The solar array. The solar array. The solar array. I don't know how I'm going to do the solar array. I have solar panels, right? Well, they're not really solar panels. They're daylight sensors, but they're going to be solar panels. I got to like build like a big, like what? A dish? I don't know. What's it going to be? What's it going to be, man? Well, how about some iron? Let's use the iron for the shiny effect. Blocks of iron. Okay. So the idea is that this molten salt reactor will take a very, very long time. It will take a long time to make. Even if tomorrow Joe Biden woke up and watched my video, and after that video, and he watched it at double speed, because his time is precious, and it's better at double speed. But Joe Biden, and with captions, watch at double speed. Joe Biden watches that double speed. Even if, and he watches it and he's like, by golly, we've got to build this thing. and immediately commands a Manhattan Project 2 to make this thing, it would take like 2 years to make it. And then after that, you have to like mass produce it and hope it doesn't like isn't wrong. And then yeah, to save the world, it would take like 2 years, and we can't really wait 2 years. You know when we need to start to like get off of fossil fuels? Do you know when we need to start? Now. Now, right now. So, is this here right now? Can we do this right now? No. You cannot do this right now. This is not possible right now. China is doing it right now. Go China. Go, with your molten salt reactor? Hell yeah, dude. Go China. Like show us how it's done. United States, we're not doing this. We can't do this yet. So if we want to get off of fossil fuels right now, we need to make a bunch of solar panels. And look at it, it's nighttime. What are you gonna do at nighttime, Pogo Kiddo? Ha 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 ha. Right. That's because that's when you need other forms. I don't know what else. I don't know. Batteries. You need better batteries. Somehow we need battery technology. Like, really, that's the thing. If we could like perfect battery technology, suppose we made a battery that was the size of a like, I don't know, a whatever, but it could hold more energy than like, well, even if it held the equivalent in oil, but condensed and not, but like in a battery form that isn't flammable, and like you could quick charge it or swap it out instantly, like that, then like it's easy to get the energy for it because you just make massive solar arrays and then store all that energy, and you're gonna get, you can generate way more energy from solar than you can actually use. And right now we can't even store it. That's the problem. Storage. How do we store that energy? So the United States, at the same time as it makes the like it researches how to make the molten salt nuclear reactor, it ought to do research into battery technology, because it's all about batteries, man. Like, how are you gonna get the power to the thing, especially when the things are getting smaller and smaller, but they want more and more energy? How do you do it? And like, look at our smartphones, right? There hasn't been a real major innovation with smartphones because it's limited by batteries. Like, most of the cost is, well, no, I think the screen's the cost, most of it. But yeah, the battery power. Solar array. Punch through here and make a, I don't know. I don't know how to make a solar array. I don't even know what I'm making. I've never even, see this here. I knew what I was doing because I've seen a video of how molten salt reactors work. So I'm like, oh yeah, I totally understand it. Except these parts are a little bit simplified. Like this here would be a chemical plant. It would not just be like a little knob. It would be a whole plant. But like a chemical plant. But you know, big deal. Chemical plants. There's chemical plants everywhere. You know, like like not everywhere, but there's chemical plants. People deal with hazardous materials all the time, and you wouldn't really be dealing with hazardous materials. It'd be in a self-contained thing. Just be observing it. And then over here, yeah, I think this could be small. When you reintroduce the fuel, this would be like, oh, that's what I should be doing, is labeling this stuff. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Temporary squid. There. Not doing rails now. Okay, this is the. All right, this is the Hastel. Is it Hastalloy? Hastalloy. Let me look it up real quick. Hastalloy. Damn it, it was on there. Hastalloy. There we go. That's what it's called. Haste. Dude, it sounds like a Dungeons, a D&D thing. Hey, Hastalloy. Hastalloy. It's an ultra low carbon type nickel MO and CR series nickel based corrosion resistant high temperature resistant material. So yeah, I can like it. Oh, you can't like yeah. Can't see that at all. Okay. Hastily containment vessel. Molten salt mixed with 700 degrees Celsius. See, drain plug. So if anything like, and this is like a fan blowing cold air, plug up. So if oh, a repeater. Redstone torch to do like make believe. That's all right. To make believe redstone. So pretend that there's power going to this fan that's blowing on this section that keeps it cool so that everything doesn't fall out. All right. And then suppose something catastrophic happens, something terrible happens, and electricity is lost to the power plant. And so this is not working anymore. The fan will turn off. The drain pipe will unplug. And then the salt will warm the molten salt will warm up and it will go into the drain tank where all this will like it'll empty out, right? And when it's in the drain tank, it will stop reacting and just turn into a solid lump of rock and not go anywhere. That's why it's safe. If everyone like something happens and everyone runs away, this thing is not gonna like do anything bad. Like if it loses power, it'll drain out into this tank and not do anything. If it's hit by like a missile and If it's hit by a missile, and yeah, if it's hit by a missile, and this thing breaks, it'll fall out into the building, but it won't go anywhere. And yeah, it's hot, but because it doesn't, all you do is you stop giving it fuel, and it'll stop being hot after a while and turn into a rock. So it doesn't go into your water supply, it doesn't fly into the air, it doesn't spread around, it stays in one area where you can control it and contain it. That's why this is safer. Ooh. So it's so much better. This is the way we should be doing it. This is the clean the molten salt chemical plant. Fuel injection. No fuel reaction stops. All right. And this is the drain tank. Drain tank. Passive safety. You wouldn't rely on that. You would probably like kick out this power, or like, Dad, this might not cool off fast enough. You might want to find other ways of like just dumping everything, like not even waiting, not even waiting for it. Just like open a valve and dump all the salt out in an emergency. Anyways, all right, and this is the heat exchanger. Oh no. So this would be the heat exchanger. This part right here. So I would change it to like something cool, like that one. Bah! It's the heat exchanger. No, I don't like that here. The heat exchanger. And then this one here. What am I doing? So this would be like steam to the turbine. This is the turbine. Look at all those bad guys over there. Bad guys. You are like to be eaten by a ghoul. What if I fly away? Oh, you all disappeared. Now fly back. Now you can't come back because there's light. All right. Heat exchanger. So this is like the heat carrier, coolant. But it's not coolant. I guess I don't know. Primary heat loop. That's how it's called. Primary heat. It's a secondary heat loop. This is like salt. Yeah, because I can understand it in my head, but like from the outside observer, they're like, what? What? I don't understand any of this. Anyways. Oh yeah, and then this. How do I let's see. Oh yeah, I know how. I would like have like a sheep on a rope. I guess. I don't know. Put a leash on her or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know we need solar panels. That over there is like an actual thing that like has been designed by people. Solar panels, like what am I gonna make? A big solar dish? Like just rows and rows of yes. Yeah, there we go. Solar panels. Oh yeah, I was talking about needing battery storage. How do you store that power? How do you store it? Then I'm like, can you use solar power to desalinate water? Like, I don't think so. Reverse osmosis, you have to like constantly like replace the filters. You can do both, reverse osmosis and distillation, like thermal distillation. Ba, 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 ba. Oh. What are you doing? Yeah, we need to do solar panels now. Not later, but now. Not later, but now. Now, now, now. Now is the time. The time is now. Because any little bit we can reduce carbon is good. Any little bit, and the sooner we start, the better it is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, okay, the okay, so I don't remember when I was it. It must have been 2017 is when I first got like turned on, aware of the fascism and of the existential threat facing the United States. And I struggled to find ways to draw attention to it. And I like it was like the kitchen sink type deal. I did everything I could trying to figure out what would work, because I didn't know what was going to work. But I'm glad I did something. And what I did a lot of was I protested at the Same Saturday Market, because it was like a place where I think the message needed to be heard. And I subscribe to chaos theory, in that small changes in initial conditions lead to wildly varied and unpredictable outcomes. So I recognized early on that fascism was coming, and so I tried to make as big a change as early on as I could. Because of slight changes, the more the bigger the change from initial conditions you make in chaotic systems, the bigger you change you make at the initial conditions early on, the bigger the variation in the outcome. And I recognized it was fascism coming, and I saw the outcome. So I acted as strong and as early as I could. Needing solar panels now. Now. We need to like start getting off of oil like as soon as possible. And the way we're gonna do it is with solar panels. That's the start. That's gonna help. Like, okay, the problem with solar panels is that they're gonna get ripped off during storms. Like, that's what I'm afraid of, windstorms, because they're gonna have more violent storms with climate change. Like, I almost think we're gonna be moving underground. It would be most cost efficient to move underground to deal with the because being underground will alleviate the variations in temperature that are going to happen on the surface, like huge variations in temperature. Like already, dudes, like it is like, okay, so it's 73 at 9 o'clock at night in September. Like, I don't know, something's off. Like, it shouldn't be this warm this late in the year. I don't remember it getting uh um warmer later. It still got warm. In fact, it seemed like it got warmer earlier. And now it's staying warmer later. Like earlier in the year, like spring was truncated. Like fall is being truncated by summer. Already summer is taking over. The heat is taking over everything. So the responsible thing to do would be to get off of oil as soon as possible, to stop burning it. And the way you do that is with solar panels. So that's the next station I have to make. But I have to make something there to manifest it. I can't just say it. Like, I made this, but I gotta make this. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. How long have I been going? About an hour. That's not bad. All right, well, I'll think about this. And I'll get back to you. All right. Go get out. Peace. Stop.